First comes love, then comes marriage, then comes a baby in a baby carriage. A healthy, beautiful baby in a baby carriage. That's the way it's supposed to go, right? Well, it did actually start that way. I met Allison Seed, the love of my life. We got married, and a couple of years later decided we were ready for a bunch of little seedlings. I knew it was time. What I did not know, however, was that my upcoming role as a mother was about to teach me the true meaning of this quote. We don't know how strong we are until being strong is the only choice we have. March 2nd, 2006, our darling dark-haired beauty, Avery Grace Seed, made us parents for the first time. How cool is that? All was peachy with Avery, easy baby, tons of smiles, incredible sleeper, and just an all-around joy. Okay, so maybe I'm not being totally honest. I could have done without the epic amount of spit up for 9 straight months. What I'm really trying to say is, for me, this motherhood stuff was not nearly as hard as everyone had it cracked up to be. Of course, I never said that out loud because we all know what would happen if I did. Everything would go to hell in a handbasket the second the last word came out of my mouth. Damn, I was happy. So happy, in fact, that we said, we really should try this baby thing again. Our second girl made her arrival on October 9th, 2007, the day of my scheduled C-section. And as I hauled my humongous belly into the waiting room at Women and Infants Hospital, the questions and concerns coming out of my mouth, I wonder if she'll look like you. Honey, which of these outfits should she wear when we take her home? Oh my God, we don't have a name yet! I am so stressed. These were clearly the musings of a woman who had a charmed experience with her first child. Anuka Catherine Seed, we did finally name her, arrived in all her glory at 8:05 a.m. with a head of super blonde hair, weighing in at 7 pounds 2 ounces, and a perfect 10 on her APGAR. All of this blissful, no care in the world high that we were on for a second time would all come to a screeching halt 48 hours later. The questions before my C-section, these questions, would now be replaced with one single question. Will she live? This is when being strong became the only choice I had. On Thursday, I woke up with a pit of anxiety in my stomach. There was no apparent reason for it. About 10 minutes later, a nurse came into my room without Anuka and explained to me very casually that Anuka's blood saturation levels were just a little bit low, and just to be safe, she was in the NICU for a little monitoring and observation. Obviously, these nurses have been thoroughly trained in how not to freak a new mom out, because yes, I was scared, but had I known what was really going on, I would have lost my mind. When they finally took me to her incubator, I saw her, my baby girl. She wasn't with me back in our room, cozy in my hospital bed, nursing like she should be. She was here, hooked up to tubes that were administering her medicine to keep her alive. This was not just a little monitoring and observation. This was not just a precautionary measure. This was the time to be strong. Being strong was no longer a choice. Back in my room, reconnected with Adam, they dropped the bomb. It was her heart. Our baby girl had turned blue, started dying in the nursery, and I had no idea. She needed immediate life-saving surgery or she wasn't going to make it. Oh, and that bomb? It was dropped right in front of 19-month-old Avery, who was watching our every move. Strong was the only choice I had. Our little Anuka had been born with 5 major defects in her heart. She was ambulanced up to Boston Children's Hospital, barely made it through the weekend, and at 6 days old, had her first open heart surgery. Terrified, confused, anxious, in shock and denial. Yup, I was all of those and more. We just had the bombshell of a lifetime dropped on us. Barely had any time to absorb it at all, and the next thing you know, we're being asked by complete strangers to place all of our faith in them and hand over our 6-day-old baby. Finding out how strong you really are is allowing them to take your baby, wheel her down the corridor, through the doors, not knowing if you'll ever see her again. Anuka made it through that surgery, but that was just the beginning of not knowing how strong I was until the only choice I had was to be strong. So much of my strength in life has come from witnessing this brave little girl have 7 more surgeries and more needles, tubes, tests, and pain than any person, never mind child, should ever have to experience. Because the truth is, if she can get through all of this with her fierce and tenacious, yet spunky and goofy spirit still intact, then I can get through anything. She is my hero. When Anuka was a little over 3, Ashton Seed gifted us with himself on Christmas Day 2010. Best Christmas present ever. Now I knew we were complete. I'll never forget driving to Ashton's 6-month appointment. I was chatting on the phone with Adam, and I asked him if there was anything he wanted me to ask the doctor. Any questions he had about Ashie. Nope, that kid is perfect. I smiled, agreed, hung up the phone, and walked into the appointment that would prove that statement wrong. Doctor, we're going to need an ultrasound of Ashton's head at some point this week. Me. Excuse me, what? Wait, what? Doctor, probably not a big deal at all. His head just grew a little bit more than it should have since his last appointment. Me. Wait, what? I vaguely heard her talking in bits and pieces about spinal fluid, brain, just wanting to check to make sure. It's probably nothing. Sometimes kids just have more fluid than others and it's totally fine. No, they don't, and no, it's not. But really, my head was starting to spin as I added up a bunch of seemingly innocuous pieces of a very dangerous, very serious puzzle. Still, though, I really wasn't too freaked out this time around because the ultrasound was 2 weeks away. My theory was, I trust our doctor. If she really thought something dangerous was going on, she would never let us wait this long for the ultrasound. I was wrong. Our pediatrician was wrong. This was not no big deal. The minute the technician finished the ultrasound, the radiologist was rushed in. We were told we needed to get to the emergency room right away. When we told the radiologist we wanted to go to Boston Children's Hospital, he very gently said, "I'm sorry, but you might not have time." Finding out how strong you really are is picking your crumpled body up off the floor when you think your baby may not make it 1 more hour. You want to shut down, but you can't. You're a mom. You still have 2 little girls at home who need you, and you don't know when you'll be home next. You pick yourself up. You make the calls. You manage, you organize, and protect your precious family. You get it all done, and now you can go back to focusing on your baby. When I first learned that Ashton had hydrocephalus, my internal dialogue with the universe went something like this. Seriously? Seriously, you have got to be kidding me. Haven't we already filled our trauma quota? You do realize that we have a child with heart disease who's already had a shitload of surgeries, right? I mean, clearly you do know that. You are the universe after all. So, don't we get some sort of crap pass at this point? Well, it turns out there is no such thing as a crap pass, at least not for us. After an MRI, it was determined that we did have time to make it to Boston. But Ashton's hydrocephalus was so severe that there was not a lot of time before it was fatal, and he needed immediate surgery. Finding out how strong you really are is having to watch them wheel another one of your babies down that hallway, through those doors, into another life-saving surgery. Will you ever see him again? Strength is not a choice at this point. Ashton is now 4 years old and the hilarious prince of our castle. He will have challenges as he grows due to the damage that occurred to his brain. Do I get scared? Yes, I do. But do I trust that I will find a hidden strength when I need it? Yes, I do. The same goes for Anuka. Her most recent open heart surgery was a success. We have no idea what her future holds, but we do know that for today, she is our sweet angel, a true heart hero and a warrior, a silly, easygoing 7-year-old who is tugging on my arm as I write this, asking, "Mommy, are you done with your book yet?" So there you have it. I guess I did have it and still do. Love, marriage, babies, and baby carriages. It just happened for us in a knock your socks off kind of way. Which all brings me back to the message. The message is unyielding, and the message is clear. It won't let me forget its existence because it keeps tugging at me and reminding me of its truth when I'm faced with new struggles, fear, and uncertainty. The message is mine. The message is ours. We don't know how strong we are until being strong is the only choice we have.